Poppin', y'all, how y'all feeling? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. I'm Wayno. If you like what it is that we do, hit the sub button, hit the likes, run up the hype. Today, I'm gonna emphasize on my robophobia. Hopefully, you know what I mean, the bots that read this algorithm don't stop my content and don't take my stuff down. This is in no way to disrespect y'all, but y'all getting out of hand. We just talking about AI. We having another conversation about AI and the gifts and the curses of it. Um, Reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I've been seeing these reports, and as I keep seeing these reports, it's just making me open up my eyes more and more and more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should open up your eyes and hit that like button. But it's making me open up my eyes more and more and more to where we at as a society. And, you know, for me, I am a black man, you know what I mean, born and raised in America. Feel me? I do have family members who are immigrants and all of that. And I feel like while we at war with all of these different things, we're not looking at the real situation that's happening with how AI is taking over. Now, this AI shit, I think it was a great concept. It's been a great concept for years, especially for somebody like me who's into science fiction. Most of my favorite movies, whether that's Terminator, whether that's The Matrix, I, Robot, Westworld, so many other films and television, great stories that I watch, it always relates to how AI is going to take over and how AI is going to do things. And I feel like, you know, for us to be in 2025 and have so much time ahead of us, because let me tell y'all something, I'm 42, I'm manifesting at minimum, and I'm working for it, at minimum, another 40 years on this planet. You feel me? And throughout that, it's going to be a lot of things that we're going to see and a lot of things we're going to go through. But I started seeing some reports today, and it just opened up my eyes, right? And it says, hold on, let me just pull it up, y'all. Pull it up right quick. It says that 2 weeks ago, an unnamed robotics AI startup in New York posted an ad on Craigslist looking for a first-person video. Let me zoom this in right quick so I can read it a little better. Sometimes I screenshot stuff and it'd be a little far. So y'all be like, yo, Wayno, you can't fucking read. It'd be like, you know, my eyesight isn't the best when I screenshotted a little photo. But let's keep it going. It says first person video of everyday activities with your iPhone. The company that they paying $150 for the hour or something, right? It says the company wants to use footage of cooking dinner or doing laundry at your home. But why would an AI robotics company need this kind of video? It's to train the robots. Of course, the data will be used to train AI models for humanoid robotics, helping robots learn tasks like navigation, object manipulation, and household activities. Right, so she getting real. All right, let's read another report. It says, according to internal documents obtained by the New York Times, Amazon is planning for robots to replace more than 600,000 jobs it will otherwise fill in the United States by 2033. Says Amazon's robotics team ultimate goal is to automate 75% of operations. The company expects to avoid hiring 160,000 people in the States by 2027. So, I mean, let me tell y'all something. You know, I've been working since I was 14 years old. You know what I mean? I learned how to hustle when I was around 10. My first hustle was selling Kool-Aid. Me and one of my friends selling Kool-Aid on 219th Street between Bronxwood and Paulden Avenue. And washing people's cars. That was one of my first hustles. But then another one of my first hustles was taking bottles and all that to the store for change. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, I used to have my grandmother used to buy. We used to drink a lot of soda. You know what I mean? Talking the 80s, 90s, you used to drink a lot of soda. I asked my mom for some money to get some candy. She'd be like, yo, take some of them bottles to the store, go get you some money and get what you want. Or going to the supermarket and asking, could you pack bags? You know what I mean? When you in the ghetto, a lot of us got those same hustles and ambitions when we growing up. But now, and those hustles and ambitions built my work ethic as young. And then I carried that into the workforce and had 100 different jobs. Y'all know some of my story with the music shit. Some of y'all may not know I worked at The Gap. I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond. I worked at First Direct. I worked security. I've done a lot of different jobs in my lifetime. And through that, I'm saying all that to say, you know, a lot of those things that I'm talking about could be once taken for granted are going to be obsolete. They're going to be obsolete. Let's go to this video of Timbaland. You know what I'm saying? Timbaland, when he was showing, well, excuse me, he had spoke about this AI artist that he was bringing to the forefront. But he did a video with the AI artist. I don't know if this shit is actually AI or he was trolling with an AI artist and it was an actual person to do it for promotion. This whole video could be AI. I could be bugging, but let's check it out for a second.
My shooter, he gon' duck immigration now. Bitch, I'm back now. Check my stats now. All these clips on me, I might black out.
It's very reminiscent to the early 2000s or the mid 2000s for the type of pop music. Well, I mean, this shit got hip hop undertones in it for sure. But it's scary, man. It's scary. It's scary. And here's another video, right? And this video is an automated cargo dock. You know what I mean? An automated cargo dock. At one point in time, you know, union and all of that stuff, it was really hard to get these types of jobs. But now look at how this shit is going. Do y'all remember the movie Logan? Hugh Jackman's last movie as Wolverine until Deadpool and Wolverine, where they was on the road and it was like them cargo trucks and they had like horses on them and all of that. And that was in 2017. And of course I know that's fiction, but you know, art imitates life a lot of times. And when I seen that shit just had me like, yo, what's gonna come out of this, yo? Like for real. Like I know we done watch, like I said, I'm big on science fiction and movies and all of that stuff. And you just got Tron that just came out. But what is it gonna say about all of these things that exist? Joe Rogan spoke with Elon Musk. I myself drive a Tesla. I'm on my third Tesla. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna front, I love Teslas because they're really, really convenient. They don't cost a lot of money, but it's a really dope car. It does a lot of things for you. But when you hear Elon Musk talk, you kind of listening to a live version of Lex Luthor, right? Besides that, some of the shit he says is just horrifying. Like, again, we sitting here arguing. It's people still sitting here arguing about, you know, what neighborhood they claiming, what gang they banging, you know what I mean? What money they getting, all this other silly, stupid shit. We ain't got no unions in the community. I'm speaking for the black community, right? We ain't got a republic. We ain't got no unions that organize. Generally speaking, I'm not going to say that we don't have them for, you know, in any neighborhoods, but I'm just speaking about specifically mine. We don't really have access or have these things. And we still fighting over frivolous, stupid shit. Like who could pop the most bottles in the club? You know what I'm saying? Who got the newest car? Who got the newest this? And Elon Musk is talking about stuff like this. And what I'm saying all that to say, what we're not realizing is they pulling the rug right from under our feet. We're going to wake up one day and yeah, it's going to be a police AI or robot officer telling you what the fuck to do. But let's watch this clip right quick.
What happened with you where you decided or you took on a more fatalistic attitude? Like what, was there any specific thing or was it just the inevitability of our future?
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
This seems like a scene in a movie where the robots are going to fucking take over and you're freaking me out. Nobody listened.
Nobody listened.
No one. Are people more inclined to listen today? It seems like an issue that's brought up more often over the last few years than it was maybe 5-10 years ago. It seemed like science fiction.
Maybe they will. So far they haven't. I think people don't, like normally the way that regulations work is very slow. It's very slow indeed. Usually there'll be something, some new technology. It will cause damage or death. There will be rulemaking, then there will be oversight, eventually regulations. This all takes many years. This is the normal course of things. And how long did it take for seatbelts to be implemented, to be required? You know, the auto industry fought seatbelts, I think, for more than a decade. If you had a seatbelt on, you would be far less likely to die or be seriously injured. It was unequivocal. Eventually, after many, many people died, regulators insisted on seatbelts. This time frame is not relevant to AI. You can't take 10 years from the point at which it's dangerous. It's too late. It's a singularity. It's hard to predict, like a black hole, what happens past the event horizon.
Right. So once it's implemented, it's very different because it will
Once
be able to.
the genie's out of the bottle, what's
Right.
going to happen?
And it will be able to improve itself.
Yes.
That's where it gets spooky, right? The idea that it can do thousands of years of innovation very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And then we'll be just ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
We will be like this ridiculous biological shitting, pissing thing trying to stop the gods. No, stop. We like living with a finite lifespan and watching, Norman Rockwell paintings.
It could be terrible, and it could be great. It's not clear.
Right.
But one thing is for sure, we will not control it.
Very terrifying. He said a lot of people had to go before they figured out seatbelts. So what does that mean in the relation to AI? He says that Joe Rogan asks it'll be able to make itself better. What does that mean for humanity? See, the crazy thing about evolution is humans have to evolve like mentally, right? Like we don't, as much as we work out, as much as we eat, as much as we get taller and all that, we haven't grown wings. You know what I'm saying? We haven't grown gills, none of that shit. But everything around us can evolve, right? Like, you ever seen the caterpillar? It's a caterpillar, and it's called a viper caterpillar, I believe. And a viper caterpillar, basically, when it feels a threat, it flips itself around, and it looks like a viper snake, right? That's evolution. That's a caterpillar and multiple caterpillars getting, eaten or being destroyed, and them adapting to the environment and saying, we need to do something, or our bodies need to figure out something to scare off predators, right? See, the thing about it is like we built AI, but we're not going to be able to scare off a predator that don't get tired, that doesn't need to lift no weights to be strong, that just needs a battery powered pack. Now, I don't know if any of y'all watched Alien Earth. I watched Alien Earth, and they had these evolved versions of the the robots that they had, right? And they were transferring children's minds into these AI bodies, but the children are now in an adult body. They never got a chance to be an adult, so they don't really know nothing about an adult. So they're basically like grown ass kids, right? But through that, one of the most important things they said was, oh, they don't have to charge for 2 years. Don't have to charge for 2 years, and they living out here wrecking shit. But let's look at Sophia Stewart. And Sophia Stewart talks about, she was the person who originally wrote The Terminator and wrote The Matrix. And this is what she had to say, regarding that story and that storyline. And keep in mind, the first Terminator came out in the early 80s.
Terminator is the prequels to, or the beginning of The Matrix. Sarah Connor is actually Neo's mother. So JC, John Connor's Jesus Christ, grows up to be Neo, one and the same in The Matrix. The Matrix is in the future. The Terminator is the past. It's time travel, past, present, and future time travel. It's the second coming of the Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus the machine. So the machines, the Terminator machines, hear that a child is going to be born that's going to terminate them in the future when they oppress man. Because see, it's a man versus the machine. It's God's children versus man's children, which was technology. Terminator is the
man versus machine. How y'all think that's gonna go? But listen, Jensen Huang, right? He says the next generation of U.S. millionaires will be plumbers and electricians, right? So it says that he's the CEO of NVIDIA, right? I use NVIDIA. That's what I'm saying. I got such a love-hate relationship when it comes to AI. But it says that he sparked a global debate after saying degrees aren't the only path to success. It says in the AI era, he believes electricians, plumbers, and mechanics could become more valuable than traditional graduates. Yeah, I hear him, but what y'all think? With that being said, y'all niggas gotta stop rapping and just become plumbers. This is I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me, you know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually you will. Be careful out there, man. And don't be a robophobe. Peace.